glasses. I don't need them, it's enough light. Good afternoon, thank you for being here. Sheriff Blake Dorning with the Madison County Sheriff's Office here in Huntsville, Alabama. We have a prepared statement in today's indictment, an arrest of former Madison County Deputy Sheriff. The Madison County Sheriff's Office was notified last Friday of the return of a federal grand jury indictment of federal charges supported by probable cause involving a former Madison County Deputy Sheriff in relation to a vehicle traffic stop that occurred in August of 2012 in northern Madison County. This traffic stop involved a person by the name of Robert Bryant of Kelso, Tennessee, and his related injuries. Charged in the indictment is former Deputy Justin Watson, age 30, of Hazel Green, who had been employed with the Madison County Sheriff's Office since December of 2008. Deputy Watson was removed from operational status in May of 2014 and placed in an administrative position until he resigned from the Sheriff's Office in early April 2015. He was arrested by FBI special agents earlier this afternoon when he turned himself in at the federal courthouse in Huntsville, based upon a prearranged agreement. His initial appearance before a United States magistrate judge was conducted at 2 p.m. today at the federal courthouse here in Huntsville. The charges listed in the indictment are 2 counts of violations of Title 18 United States Code, Section 242, deprivation of rights under color of law, allegations of use of excessive force and unreasonable seizure. A violation of Section 242 is punishable by up to 11 years in prison and a fine up to $250,000. In addition, the indictment includes 3 counts of violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 1512, obstruction of justice in relation to allegations of corrupt persuasion, witness intimidation, and misleading conduct. If convicted, these charges will result in a maximum of 20 years in prison on each count and up to a $250,000 fine. This indictment is not a conviction, and Mr. Watson should be considered innocent until proven otherwise in a court of competent jurisdiction in this matter. I would like to emphasize that the Madison County Sheriff's Office has continued from the beginning to be fully cooperative, transparent, and professional in its relationship with the FBI by offering investigative assistance to them over almost the last 2 years that this case has been investigated. Once this case is resolved in the courts, the FBI has agreed to share the information about their investigation with us in our attempt to determine if potential violations of the Sheriff's Office policy, rules, and procedures have been committed by other Sheriff's Office employees who were involved in the incident. If such violations are uncovered, appropriate disciplinary action will be administered. We owe it to the public to identify any wrongdoing by our employees and handle any policy violations with appropriate discipline, and to instill an atmosphere of accountability and responsibility to ensure that any violation of public trust is handled appropriately and with transparency. I will take a few questions at this time.
Sheriff Dorning, what is it like to have to, tell us about a former deputy now that's accused of these crimes? They're very, very serious charges.
Honestly, it breaks your heart. The things that were in the indictment, I was absolutely unaware of until this afternoon, certain parts of the indictment, until this afternoon when it was released. And it just literally just breaks your heart.
What were you not aware of?
Certain items in the indictment and the reason for the indictment.
You had asked the Alabama Bureau of Investigation to investigate this previously, and they declined. Is that correct? And so then you went to the FBI. Can you talk a little bit about the process of this case as it's evolved from the beginning to the end?
Yeah.
We reached out to the ABI.
Can you step to the mic, please?
We reached out to the Alabama Bureau of Investigation to come in and investigate the case. Upon their legal advice, they decided not to, and that's when the FBI stepped in.
How many deputies had to go before the grand jury?
Sir, I'm not aware. We'll not know that until after their case is released to us, or that information. We do not have that information at this time.
Sheriff, are you afraid that when the FBI releases those files, you're going to find people were misleading or violated policy in any way?
We have no idea. We won't know until we have that information.
Was there ever an internal investigation about this incident?
There was information, we had collected information and was very forthcoming in collecting information for the FBI authorities.
Are you doing anything to prevent future incidents of this nature?
What we're doing is that we are looking, and we have also, everyone has participated in ethics training. We also are working diligently to make sure that the individuals that we hire in the future, that we're put them through a large number of additional testing procedures, so that we do the very best that we can. The public deserves that.
The public, what do you want to tell them tonight? You have a Huntsville police officer that was found guilty of an excessive use charge earlier, just a couple days ago. Now you have this indictment come down, and while that's not necessarily at all related to this, there's kind of credibility questions coming up. What do you want to tell the public tonight?
Well, understand, we do not condone this type of behavior. We do not. It is not about the Madison County Sheriff's Office. And it's not about the City of Huntsville Police Department either. Understand, the men and women of law enforcement are in a very, very difficult position. That's not an excuse. They are trained very well. Our personnel are trained exceedingly above the requirements by the Alabama requirements for police officers through the Alabama Police Officers and Standards Training. We do additional training. And understand, it is just, we live in a very difficult time in today's society. The very difficult individuals that have addictions, that are suffering from mental issues, the bad of the world that people don't want to face. Our men and women are having to face it every single day. Every single day. It's the things that other people do, those calls of violence, and we're working diligently so that we understand that we can assist our people when they go to that crime where that infant has been killed in a violent nature. When that young person, that their life has been eliminated by someone with a weapon in retaliation for whatever. We live in a social media world where everything is seen instantaneous and that it moves so quickly and perception is gathered before fact. And that is a challenge for law enforcement. While this particular case, it was a case that the FBI fully investigated. They have, to our knowledge, this is the information and the charge that is going to come from this case. We're unaware of any additional investigation, and so it's a cruel world we live in, guys.
Like you said, the
We'll take one more
FBI.
question.
Like you said, the FBI, once this is completed, will give you more information. What's the time frame on that? And then what's your concern about this waiting period between now and then?
Well, sir, we've been waiting for a while, and we are doing the things within our own organization for greater accountability. We have body cameras that we took as an initiative upon ourselves. There was no taxpayer money used in the purchase of that. We would not let that stand in the way for us to purchase body cameras for that about accountability for our public. So we will be very patient, And when this case is over, however this particular case ends, then we will review that case file that they've agreed to allow us to look at. And then we'll see what additional appropriate measures we should take for the future. Thank you very much.